All right, one of the most popular Asian restaurants in San Francisco is a Vietnamese restaurant called Slanted Door. And the most popular dish there is called the caramel chicken. And this caramel chicken, this is my version. I add peanuts to it, but the rest of it's pretty close to what you're going to get at the restaurant. By the way, Mick Jagger's favorite restaurant in San Francisco. All right, so here we go. Let's put the sauce together. We're going to put some dark brown sugar. That's 3/4 cups. Okay, so 3/4 of a cup dark brown sugar. You're going to add 1/3 of a cup of cold water. All right, so that's 1/3 of a cup of water. We're going to add fish sauce. Now, this is the only real exotic ingredient in here. You can find this in any major large grocery store that has an Asian food section. Just ask for fish sauce. It's really similar to a soy sauce. It's a fermented sauce, a Southeast Asian condiment. Really unique flavor and really important in this dish. So I really hope you try to find that, or at least get it on the internet. But you'll find it. You'll find it. This is rice vinegar, just regular rice vinegar, unseasoned. Plain rice vinegar. We're going to put 1/3 of a cup of that. All right. And I'm going to add, now be careful, that fish sauce is very salty, so we can't do too much here with the soy sauce. So I'm going to add a teaspoon of premium soy sauce. What's the difference between premium and regular? About 75 cents. It's an old chef joke. All right, so a teaspoon of premium soy sauce. And I'm going to crush some ginger. Now, I cheated. The store I shop at in the produce section, refrigerated, has this ginger puree. That is just pure, fresh ginger paste in a tube. So, man, that's really easy to use. So, hopefully you can find that. If you can't, all right, you're going to take a piece of regular ginger and peel it and mince it up or grate it really fine and throw that in. But ginger, another important factor here, so don't skip that. And I crushed 4 cloves of garlic, and that finished my sauce. So give it a stir. All right, you just want to make sure the sugar dissolves. And we're ready to go with the rest of our ingredients, which are really easy. I took 10 chicken thighs, okay, boneless, skinless. I quartered them, so I got like 2-inch pieces. It's about almost 2.5 pounds of meat. Okay. I chopped up 1 large bunch of green onions. That was about 5 or 6 individual green onions chopped up. I did 2 jalapenos sliced. See, the dish is supposed to be kind of spicy. And for a little crunch, I got 1/2 cup of roasted peanuts. And there's my sauce mix. All right, on the stove, I have a large saute pan, a large skillet. All right, on high, I got about a teaspoon of oil in there, vegetable oil. And you're going to throw in your chicken thighs. Again, chicken thigh, perfect for this. Don't try to use chicken breast. It just will dry out too quick. This is a great texture, and it really soaks up all this flavor. All right, so once I spread out those chicken thighs in the hot pan, I'm going to add just a little bit of our sauce. Okay, the rest is going in later. You're going to add 1/3 of a cup of the sauce, and that's going to start cooking down. And what you want is just to kind of form a syrup. And once it gets to the syrup stage, then it's going to caramelize. That's what gives the dish its name. We're actually going to try to burn that sugar right onto the chicken. So here's a little tip. If you spread it out towards the ends of the pans, the sides, and leave the syrup in the middle, it'll reduce a little quicker. But see that? Once you get down to like a maple syrup consistency, give it a little toss, and just keep it on high heat. And don't be scared. You can't really burn it. See, it's starting to get like a nice mahogany color. See that piece right there, that little brown on there? That's what you want. So again, you be the judge of how far to go. You really can't go too far unless it just gets pure black. So you want to go kind of dark brown, mahogany color. And that's looking pretty good. Okay. So once it got to that stage, I dumped in the rest of my liquid. And I put it on a low simmer for about another 6 or 7 minutes, just until the chicken pieces were tender. All right, and then to finish, very simple. We're going to add the last 3 ingredients here, which was our sliced peppers. All right, we're going to dump in our, let me throw that one in. We're going to dump our 1/2 cup of roasted peanuts, and we are going to put in our green onions. Now again, how much longer do you need to cook this? I want this to have a little bit of texture with the onion and the pepper, so I only want 2 or 3 more minutes, just enough to just soften them slightly. If you want to cook those down and cook them right in soft, not a problem. Again, the reason we're using chicken thighs, very difficult to overcook. They just you get even better. All right, so now that chicken's tender, I got all my ingredients in there. You shouldn't need any salt or any pepper. It should be just beautifully flavorful, just like that. But give it a test. And again, you low-carb people, okay, I'm talking to you. You know who you are. You got to serve this on white rice. All right, don't eat this plain. The contrast between the beautiful steamed rice and the crunchy peanut and the chicken and the hot, sweet, salty sauce, amazing. Anyway, that's my version of caramel chicken from the Slanted Door restaurant in San Francisco. I added peanuts, as I said. I also added a little cilantro on top, which I think is a nice garnish. So anyway, I hope you give this a try. Throw on some Rolling Stones and enjoy.